Where is the love for former Vice President Joe Biden? Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says she's not excited about his potential White House bid.
This idea that we can go back to the good old days with Obama, with Obama's vice president, and I think there's an emotional element to that, but I don't want to go back. I want to go forward.
Power panel now. Judy Miller, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist. Dan Henninger, Wall Street Journal editorial page deputy editor. Good to see you both. Does this point to a fracture within the Democratic Party that maybe even some don't want to realize?
I think this points to what Barack Obama pointed out was the usual practice of Democrats forming circular firing squads, shooting at one another. Look, why would somebody from the left wing of the party not be animated by someone who speaks to ordinary, as she might say, old white men? Look, there is a split in the party. We know that. We've talked about this on the air.
How important is that split, though, in terms of 2020?
I think the voters will decide, and primary voters will decide. I just hope that they don't kill one another in the process of deciding.
Yeah, so I was just in Iowa with the Town Hall America on Sunday night, and we talked a little bit about socialism and some other issues, and Me Too and all of those things. Is Joe Biden, did he miss his time?
Well, I don't think not really.
Is he socialist enough? He says he's the most progressive.
Well, no, and I'm not sure he wants to be socialist enough. I mean, the key thing that jumped out at me in Ocasio-Cortez's statement was go back to the good old days of the Obama years. She's not just talking about Joe Biden. She's also talking about Barack Obama, the most popular individual in the Democratic Party. And for people like Ocasio-Cortez on the left, they want to move in another direction. They do want to move towards socialism. And as Judy was suggesting, there is a big question whether the general Democratic electorate out there across the country in those primaries agrees with that, or whether they actually self-define as less than socialist.
All right, so in the media, we get blamed, and not always at Fox News because we try to look at the actual breakdown of things, but we get blamed for having that narrative of, well, there's a problem in the Democratic Party, and there are only Nancy Pelosi yesterday. Well, there are only 5 of them in terms of those progressives that I guess would be a problem.
Look, I think.
Am I having a hallucination, or is this real?
You are not hallucinating, Harris. Nancy Pelosi understands the problem very, very well when she tried to pass a resolution criticizing Ilhan Omar for what many perceived as anti-Semitic remarks. She couldn't get a kind of anti-Semitism resolution through the Congress, in part because of her party. So she knows the split, and she knows how damaging it can be. The Democratic Party at its core is centrist. Every poll shows that, but not Ocasio-Cortez and that wing of the party.
Those are great words to think about as we head into 2020.